Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing. It's nearly time for the Front Row Racing PCF, the Project Cars Fridays League, and the LMP2s for Season 2, Round 2 at the Zhuhai International Circuit for 32 laps. And we're just waiting for the drivers to find their way to the pit lane, and then we will get heading over to the circuit. Now, I'm Front Row Racing DP in the commentary box. And I'm joined, once again, for the second time this evening, by Front Row Racing RI. How are you this evening, Ray? I don't know why I've said that, because it's the second time I've said it today. I should know how you are.
Very well.
Good. Now, obviously, we are waiting for a few of the drivers to get in to their cars or get into the pit lane, finish off their pit lane interviews, or finish their comfort breaks, which they will quite often have just before going to the racetrack. Now, we're going to be on for a 15-minute qualifying session, a 5-minute practice or a 5-minute warm-up, and then a 32-lap race around the Zhuhai International Circuit. Now, this is a track that I personally haven't raced at for quite some time, to be honest, but I know that you yourself, Ray, you've stolen one of the cars, you've been around the track, so any info for us, any insider info, were you putting in blistering lap times?
No, not at all.
Okay, were you just blistering the tyres then?
Yeah, I was doing that, and I found one corner quite tricky and I was going off at it every lap, so I never got my braking point at that one, so that could be one to watch for the drivers. And guess what, I can't tell you what corner it is because I've not got my track map.
Oh dear, that's not very useful, Ray. Okay, so anyway, in the LMP2 class, we've got the Alpine A450, the Marek RP 219D, the Oreca 03, and the RWD P20 LMP2s. The drivers can use any of those. Now, Ray, I don't know if you want to just send out some more invites, because we're still waiting on a few drivers here. Let's see, I know Woolhouse was in, he did get disconnected. I have sent him another invite. He has now just rejoined us. Okay, so I'm just quickly going to go through the driver's standings while Ray is doing a bit of a few invitations. The driver's standings then for the PCF. Well, round 1 at the Circuit de Barcelona, James Hulkenberg took victory there. So he's on 25 points. Dave the Harp came second place, so he's on 20 points. Hesselden 90 came third, he's on 16 points. And Mulrine MUFC came fourth on 13 points. Woolhouse is in fifth on 11 points. Neo Tig came sixth on 10.5. King came seventh, so he's got 9 points. And then we had Stringy B, Stocky. Both of those did not finish the race. Stringy B, because of a collision with Dave the Harp at the start of the race, caused so much damage to his car, he decided to retire. And Stocky didn't get much practice time, and I think his car just gave up on him. Now, I have heard that, I'll just finish off what I was going to say, actually. We've got Grable, who couldn't make it last week. Joy Finner couldn't make it last week. Kev187, who couldn't make it last week. Leomo, who couldn't make it last week. And Richie Davey, who couldn't make it last week. Now, I have heard that Kev187 has said he's going to be available this evening again. So I reckon he's probably going to be doing what Ray's new dog has been doing for most of today. I can't tell you exactly what that is until we've gone past 9 o'clock, which I think we just have done. Basically, Ray's got a new dog, and it's stolen one of the kids' teddies, which is a panda, and has made it its love child. So I think that's what Kev's going to be doing this evening. Duo Finn will be hoping for a good race. Last week he was held up at work, arrived late, and was unable to get into his car. They wouldn't let him through the security gates. This week he is here and ready. Okay, so who are we waiting for then? Let's have a look. There should be at least another 4 of them.
Just going to find Stringy B because I don't have him as a friend.
Stringy B does tend to come on a little bit late. I think he finishes the FRR days and then grabs himself a bite to eat, has a little comfort break, and then comes and joins. Obviously, the drivers can join part way through qualifying or even in the warm-up session if they are going to be arriving a little bit late. Richie Davey has now joined us. He was unavailable last week, so he'll be hoping for a good performance here and some points. GT5 King, he's not in with us yet. Maybe Friday nights. Maybe I was going to say maybe Friday nights have become his personal happy time. Okay, I'm just quickly going to. Have you got? Did you say you haven't got Lee Elmo on your list at the moment?
I have. He's offline. He's not online.
I'm just thinking, if I remember rightly, he may have said the other day that he's not available tonight. If that is the case, then we won't wait for him.
Oh, well, voting to start session.
Yeah, don't go doing that just yet, Ray. We are still waiting for a couple more of the drivers to find their way to the cars. Now, I did see that Grable was in the paddock. He's not made his way into the pit lane yet.
No. He's sitting there, but there's nothing happening.
Okay, just have a quick check. Who are we missing? Okay, we've got Hulkenberg in, we've got Dave the Harp in, we've got Hesselden 90 in, Mulrine is in, Woolhouse, he is in, Neotig, he's in, GT5 King isn't, Stringy B isn't, Stocky, he's another one that isn't, Grable isn't, Duofin is, Kev isn't, Lielmo isn't, and Richie Davey is. Okay, well that's a little bit disappointing then. Hopefully a few of the guys will be able to get on in the next 15-20 minutes. I think then, Ray, it's time to get going.
Okay. I did receive a message. Are we just going to leave that?
A message from...
you spoke about it earlier.
Jones is in. I have already sent an invite to...
oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Jones is already in. I've sent an invite to Smithers and told him if he manages to get online, then he will be able to join. Okay, let's get going.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see that. I just seen it.
That's all right.
Screen away.
The thing is, we're at that time of year where Christmas has just passed, and if the boyfriends have not been doing their jobs right, their Friday nights end up having to be spent pleasing rather than playing on their video games. Okay. So the Zhuhai International Circuit for round 2 of the FRR Racing PCF could be an interesting one. I must admit that, as mentioned earlier, I have done absolutely no laps around this track for quite some time, so I haven't got a clue what lap times are going to be like. I haven't got a clue really of the layout of the track. I mean, we can see it there and I've got a track map, but visually what it'll be like for us, I haven't got a clue. Okay, Ray, we've got someone that's dropped out already, so if you want to quickly check through your list, find out who that is, send them another invite, and I will get on to showing what we can see on the track. Okay, Jonesy, Richie Davey, Woolhouse all out on track early. I think Woolhouse was the first out on track. He did exactly the same thing in the PCS race last week. So he's looking early to try and get a lap in, but he's not going to be able to get laps in if he's going off there. I wonder if that's the corner that Ray said he was going off at a lot. It won't take long for me to visually remember a lot of this circuit. So obviously I have driven here, but I actually haven't driven on project cars for quite some time. Now, on camera here, James Hulkenberg took victory last week, and you know, I know it's early in the season, but I'm actually going to tip him for taking the championship here, as long as he can keep having good finishes. I mean, the guy can drive, there's no doubt about it, but he's got to beat his mate Dave the Hart. He's going to have to beat Kev 187 when he comes back to the track. He's also going to have to beat Duofin, who was quick in the Formula B's last season. Okay, Woolhouse heading up towards the final corner. We see Zhuhai has rejoined us, so that should be all drivers back at the track, is it, Ray?
As far as I'm aware, I'll double check everything. I'm still going through the list.
Okay, no problem. So Woolhouse then, he's about to cross the line to be the first to start a timed lap here at the Zhuhai International Circuit. And something I would like to quickly mention is I've been checking the weather forecast for where the round 3 is going to be held. It's at Silverstone. I've been checking the weather forecast and it's not looking too good. From what I've seen, there is a high possibility of rain in Silverstone next week. So the drivers are going to have to, once this race is finished, they're going to have to potentially get prepared for a possibly wet race in Silverstone. From what I've been told, and it is from a good source, is that it could start out dry, but it also could turn wet. There is that possibility, but also with there being a week to go, anything could change. But the weather is definitely going to be changeable next week in Silverstone. Okay, back to the Zhuhai International Circuit then, and Woolhouse, he's looking absolutely on it at the moment, really pushing the green machine. Now, if he manages to complete the lap, which in the PCS last week he was first to set a time but wasn't able to complete it. If he is first to complete it, that will give us our benchmark of time to beat. He's got one corner to go, so he heads up to the final corner. And this is a corner I do know you can carry a lot of speed around, but there is a chance of running very, very wide. So up to the line then, and it's going to be a 1:27.6. So that's the benchmark. He's already been bumped down to second place by Hesselden 90 with a 1:25.841. That's a fairly good jump between the two lap times. Is this Zhuhai across the line? No, it isn't. It was Richie Davey. He's just done a 1:29.1. Jonesy, he's out on track. I'm not sure if he's on a flying lap. Here's Hulkenberg though, around the final corner. He could be on a flying lap, so he's going to head up to the finish line. What time would it be? It's a 1:27.3. It's only second place, and he's a couple of seconds nearly off Hesselden's lap time. I said last week Hesselden may need to up his pace a little bit to try and take the win, and it looks like he's on course to do so at this event. Dave the Hart though, I can't remember if he actually got pole position last week. No, he didn't. He got second place. Would you like to tell the viewers, Ray, what Dave the Hart managed to do at the start of the race last week?
He tried to start his broadcast when the lights were going out.
Yeah, not a good idea. I think really these LMP2s, I know LMP1s sometimes have a TV monitor in them. I think these LMP2s may need them, where Dave the Hart can flick a switch and it'll record what he's doing. But it looks like he is on a flying lap at the moment. And he too potentially is a guy to beat in the Project Cars Fridays. He had a chance of winning the first season in the PCF League until he rolled it at the last race on pretty much the last lap with one corner to go, and gave away the championship, which I'm not going to let him forget. But he is headed up to the finish line.
How would you feel if you'd done that?
Oh, I would be devastated. I would probably hang my gloves up, to be honest. But he has put himself in second place with a 1:26.3. Hesselden's are now on a 1:25.5, so he has improved his lap time, and the lap times could drop on laps 2 and 3. Oh, Hulkenberg's just ran a little bit wide as a car is getting out of his way. Oh, what circulating? Let's go and see someone. Richie Davey. It's Richie Davey pulled over to the side of the track. Mulrine, he had a very interesting race last week. Very, very solid race. Had a very good chance of scoring more points than he did, but he did score the amount of points that he did. I can't remember exactly what that is, and I could change onto my other monitor, but for the moment I'm going to try and keep the track map there. Not that really anything is helping me know exactly which corner the drivers are at just yet. But Mulrine sat in 5th place on a 1:29.9. So have you got your eyes on, Ray? Have you got any predictions of, any guesses of who may take pole position here?
I think Hesselden's going to be strong, but I've got a feeling Dave the Hart might just stick it in there.
thinking back, I think Dave the Harp actually did take pole position last week. I am going to have to change my monitor. Now Neotig on view, so Ray, I don't know if you want to just keep an eye on what Neotig's doing for us for a moment.
Yeah, well done. There's a wee wiggle coming out that corner. I don't even know what corner it is because I've just joined him. But he's had a wee wiggle, so that wouldn't help his lap times. He's hard on the brakes trying to turn it in. I don't think you have to make that apex that he's just done. But now Neil Tig, he doesn't show his potential until warm up. What he tends to do is sit back, let the guys go out and battle it. He just goes round, does his wee thing, and then come warm up he'll put in a good lap and let the guys think, I've got more to do.
Well, he was doing that last season. Is he going to do it again this season? Because he's just coming up to the finish line. He's not. He may have improved on his lap time, but he's not improved on his position. Okay, Duo Finn. He's next on screen. I like the look of that car. I have just had a look. Dave the Harp did get pole position last week as Duo Finn puts himself 7th with a 143. That's off the pace, Duo Finn. I wonder if he's just trying to get his tyres up to temperature. Dave the Harp was on pole position last week when he had his malfunction. James Hulkenberg was in 2nd and gained the 1 place to take the victory. So Dave the Harp could be on for pole position. Hesselden qualified 5th last week and finished 2nd. So if he can qualify 1st, I think he's got a chance of actually taking a victory here.
Yeah, he's a strong contender.
Well, he's consistent, isn't he? He's very, very consistent. Yeah. I mean,
and he does. His pit stops aren't the same as everybody else. They're different. He's a different guy. He's got his different ways of doing things.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with doing things differently, depending on what it is. Okay, we're still looking at Duo Finn here then. I tell you what, his car's looking a little bit bouncy around some of the corners. I'm wondering if his suspension is set up perhaps a little bit stiff. It could be compromising his overall lap time here. Well, we'll see how he gets on. I think that's around the final corner. He's wide, so that's going to compromise this lap. Or is it? Is it going to let him count this lap? It is. It's a 128.9, 6th place for Duo Finn. Okay, let's have a quick look. Hesselden still on pole position at the moment with a 125.5. He's just gone around turn 1, I believe that is. Dave the Harp is in 2nd place with a 126.0, so he's got half a second to find. It sounded like he was going to say something there, Ray. Go on, what have you got for us?
He's got half a second to find.
All right.
You
Sorry.
said it before I said it.
I beat you to it. I do apologise.
I don't apologise. Oh, Jonesy's car, look at that paintwork.
Is he damaged? Is he damaged? Oh no, oh yeah, the LMP2. I must admit, when I was taking some photos of the LMP2s, this is the one that I think is the sexiest looking LMP2 car, with a lightning all over it. You can't really see it here, but it does look really, really sexy. The problem is, Jonesy may end up making it look a little bit scratched. There is that possibility, but he's currently in 5th place and on another lap. I mean, just look at that car. That is a beauty. Okay.
Right, that reminds me of my first
sexual experience.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. My first guitar strap I had for my guitar.
Oh, okay.
It was purple with a light.
Oh, sorry, Hesselden just improved his lap time minutely. Now, obviously, I know that you're into your music, and a guitar player's guitar strap, especially their first one, can mean a lot. Mine was a boring red one that just said Gibson on it, but I did keep it for years and years and years.
I don't have my guitar strap anymore, or the guitar.
It's not. I just hope it's not attached to the bed, Ray. Okay, anyway, on to Dave the Harp, who is sitting in second place. He's got half a second to find to try and catch Hesselden. Now, as I said, he was on pole at Barcelona. He'll be wanting to get pole again here. And across the line he goes. He's not improved on his lap time. Woolhouse is in third. He's got half a second to find to catch Dave the Harp. Hulkenberg's in fourth place. He's got 0.8 of a second to beat Dave the Harp. So he's got a little bit of work to do. But, I mean, this is a track that I do know that if you do get your corner entry slightly wrong, it will compromise your overall lap time. But he is round the final corner. Is he going to improve? He can't. He can't. Okay, Jonesy still sat in fifth place. Mulrine is in sixth place. I'm surprised that some of these guys are perhaps not going quicker. Perhaps they're surprised as well. Well, that's Jonesy about to cross the line. Now, where is Neotig? Tell you what, Ray, I think we've lost Richie Davey. I don't know if you want to quickly send him another invite.
Okay, I'll do that quickly.
Okay, I think Woolhouse is around the final corner. Can he improve? Is anybody going to improve in the final couple of minutes? He has improved by 1/10, but not improved his position. Now, Hulkenberg's got...
FIFA.
Sorry, go on.
He's on FIFA, so...
Okay, I think Richie Davies retired for the evening then. Oh, Hulkenberg! Big crash! Big crash from the last week's race winner. That will have just woken him up a little bit, I think. That would have just grabbed his while he was probably grabbing something else to make sure that they're still attached.
Hesselden's in the pits. He thinks he's got it.
So Hesselden looking comfortable then. We're at that point now. We've got what? 5 seconds. If they're not crossing the line in 5 seconds, they're not going to get another lap in. So it's now or never, guys. Now, having a quick look at Duofin, who I think has got Dave the Hart behind him. Yeah. And they've got and they've got a few corners to go before they get to the last corner, before they get to the start-finish line. Now, I would like to see Duofin, I think this is turn 10, he's just going through there. I would like to see him just knock a couple of seconds off that lap time, get himself up to first or second row of the grid.
But we may have Juno Finn going in a one-stop.
It's possible, it's possible. He does it on F1. He does tend to be able to look after his tyres, especially on F1. I mean, that's something that, I mean, strategy, we've no idea what the guys are going to be doing here. With Duofin then up to the finish line. And he has improved. He's still in 7th place, but he's put his lap time down to a 1:27.7. I think it was Dave the Harp that was following.
Never improved.
Okay, now where's Neotig? Neotig is in the pits. So, Duofin, he's not going to get another lap in. Mulrine, I don't think he's going to be able to finish his lap. James Hulkenberg's in the pits. Woolhouse is in the pits. Dave the Harper's in the pits. Hesselden is in the pits. So Mulrine's the only one left on track, but he hasn't got enough time to finish the lap. So that's going to be it. Qualifying over. So let's have a look at the order then. First place will be Hesselden, half a second faster than Dave the Harp. That'll have grabbed his attention. But Dave's nearly 0.3 of a second, well, just over 0.3 of a second faster than Woolhouse. Hulkenberg in 4th, Mulrine 5th, Jonesy 6th, Joyf in 7th, Neotig 8th, myself in 9th, and you in 10th, Ray. But I must admit, it is a little bit frustrating that a few of the drivers that are due to race have not made it this evening. I'm just going to have a quick check, see if any of them are available online for another invite. So while the drivers are getting their warm-up settings sorted.
I also like that yellow and blue car that black that Hesselden's driving. That's a nice view. It's different and it's
Yeah,
a wee bit.
the car that Hesselden is in, it is a nice car, I think. It's a nice colour scheme on that car. Okay, seeing as you were talking about it, shall we go and have a look at it? Might as well. Well, it looks like Hesselden, with having got pole position in the bag, I think he could be a difficult guy to beat here at this particular track. I mean, in the Project Car Sunday race, I think, I'm trying to think if he won the PCS race.
I'm sure he did. Did he not?
He did, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. If you give this guy a chance to get out in front and drive away, you're going to have to work hard to catch him. Because he is consistent. He is clean, he's smooth, which means he's probably going to crash. But he is clean, he is smooth, he is consistent. If he puts in a 126.5, then he can pretty much do a 126.5 again and again and again and again. And you're going to have to really work hard to beat this guy if you give him a chance. So I would suggest to all of the other drivers, don't give this guy a chance, because if you do, he'll run away with a title.
I don't know what Jonesy's doing. He's spinning about on the track. Don't know if
I would guess
he couldn't get it back onto the track.
I would guess he's probably had a little bit of an off, and I do know in these cars, if you do have an off, your tyres go cold. Oh, Jonesy, that was not good. I was going to say, if you do have a bit of an off, your tyres can go cold, and it's not easy to get them back up to temperature.
Well, we've got Jason, sorry, he's saying he'll think Joe Flynn he'll try a one stop.
Ooh. So, bit of insider info possibly there then from Jason. I mean, I must admit, I don't know what the tyre wear is really going to be like. I mean, I know at Catalonia, a few of the guys said the tyre wear was quite aggressive, but this is a completely different type of circuit, different tarmac.
Somebody's hit something. I see the shake of the screen. I think it's Neil Tig.
Neo's in the pits.
He hit the wall and then retired to the pits.
Well, he may have done, but he's back in the pits now. Oh, Joy Finn, he's just gone straight on out to the pit exit, just to show that the tyres are cold, and when they are, they don't work. They just simply do not work. And obviously, with the LMPs, there are no tyre warmers for these guys, so the tyres will be cold, and they've got to work them up to temperature, which Joy Finn is struggling to do at the moment. But also, he may have his race fuel in, because this is a time where the guys may want to put all of their race fuel in, going to see how it handles, because in a minute's time, the race is going to get going.
Hopefully it's an interesting race and there's quite a few battles.
Hopefully so. Woolhouse here trying to get some temperature into his tyres by the looks of it. Bit of a weave in, bit of accelerating, bit of hard on the brakes. Either that or he's waiting for his mate Jonesy. And David Hart's just sat in the pits.
Oh, contact between the two of them.
And there we go.
That didn't work out. And now one's waiting for the other and the other's waiting for the other.
Well, while they're throwing their handbags at each other, James Hulkenberg trying to pump in some fuel-heavy laps here by the looks of it. Now, he came out of the pits fairly early, I believe, so he's definitely focused on
body parts.
Well, I mean, one thing I will say is, I mean, accidents happen, but in all honesty, if guys are going to come in and just purposefully crash into each other, they won't get invited to the next event. Especially when we get drivers asking if they can join and they're told, well, actually at the moment we're full. When the drivers don't turn up, it gets frustrating, but you just won't get an invite. Okay, let's get ready then for the race.
Remember, the first lap is
32 laps coming up, the lights are going, Neo's trying to get going early, and away they go. Let's go and see what happens up at turn 1, shall we? It looks like David Hart may have been able to actually get off the line this week. He's having a look up the inside. Oh, Jonesy's gone very, very deep into turn 1. and there's a big crash. There's a big crash. So we've got
Neotig and Mulrine.
Yep, Jonesy, Neotig, Mulrine, all three of them involved there. So they've got some work to do now. But Dave the Harp in third place, applying some pressure onto Woolhouse. Having a look up the inside. He's got the line. He's ahead. So Dave the Harp's up into second. And now, oh no, he's not, because Woolhouse is coming straight back past, but he's gone off. It was a bit aggressive, bit over ambitious, and it hasn't worked for him.
Dual fins up into fourth.
He is, so that's allowed Dave the Harp and Duofin to get ahead. And James Hulkenberg a little further back in fifth. I think he may have had to been avoiding collisions at the start there. So time for him to try and catch back up. Jonesy in sixth with an absolutely terrible start to the race, causing a huge collision with himself, Mulrine and Neotig. Okay, let's get back up to the front. Hesselden in first with Dave the Harp not too far behind him, and he's bringing Duofin along for the party. So as they come around the final corner for the first time, it is going to be Hesselden to complete the lap in the lead. So we've got the front four nice and close together, and I think a few drivers will be very frustrated at that first corner attempt, because at the end of the day you want to at least get around the first corner to have a chance of fighting in the race, instead of being completely taken out and then spending the next 31 laps just trying to catch back up. And if those guys have got damage, they really won't be happy.
Not at all. I wouldn't be.
Well, you wouldn't be, I wouldn't be, and they won't be either. Okay, Dave.
Dual fins had a wee spin. He managed to keep it. It was Woolhouse that gave him a wee tap in the front to bring it back.
So Woolhouse on this occasion helps Duofin to keep facing the right direction, but Dave's really got the hammer down trying to catch up to Hesselden here. And I think Hulkenberg, he's slowly pulling in that gap, with Duofin having a little bit of a sideways moment. Is giving him the opportunity to just close up a little bit. Sixth place, you've got Jonesy and Mulrine. They're getting very, very close now. And Neotig, he's dropped off a lot. I wonder if he's got damage as Mulrine makes a move up the inside of Jonesy. These guys are getting close. Mulrine sneaking ahead just, but Jonesy's got a bit more speed, but he's gone deep. He's going off. They're both going off. They've both tried to late break each other, and they've both made a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a wee bit of lag that came in here around that corner, but I think Mulrine came off the worst. You can see that he's down in seventh. He went further wide.
I think you're right. I think he did go a little further wide, but we'll focus now on the leaders. Hesselden in front, Dave the Harp in second. Now, obviously, pit strategy could be crucial for these guys, but if Duofin is going for a one-stop, then he doesn't really need to push too hard at the moment, but he doesn't want to drop too far back either. Let's see, Hesselden's fastest lap so far, 26.7. Dave the Harp a tenth faster. Not much between them at all. We just see Hulkenberg, his fastest so far, a 27.9. Perhaps need to try and pick that pace up a little bit to latch onto the back of Duofin. It'd be nice if he could catch up and make it a five-way battle up at the front. That sounded like a moment ago Ray you was going to mention something. So what have you spotted?
Well, Hesselden's lap times is half a second faster than Dave the Harp, and then Woolhouse isn't that far off of Dave the Harp, and then Woolhouse is probably that was only about 4 times, so I think it's going to be mediocre for the time being until they start pumping in the lap times. Well,
they've got to give the tyres chance to get up to temperature, then they've got to handle the tyres losing the temperature or losing the grip, and then calling their pit stops could be absolutely crucial. Woolhouse is really pushing his tyres hard, a lot of smoke coming off those tyres, and Duofin, he looks like he may have gained a little bit over the last lap, but Hulkenberg looks like he's dropped off the back of Duofin at the moment. The gap has got bigger between those two.
Mulrine's got ahead of Jonesy, but Jonesy hasn't given up nicely. He's sitting there.
So Mulrine v Jonesy take 2. Mulrine's just managed to get ahead a little bit wiggly on the exit. That's allowing Jonesy to just try and attack back. So Jonesy gets back ahead. Well, this is going to be frustrating Mulrine a little bit. But Jonesy's now round wide. Mulrine's going very slow round the final corner, losing out a lot of time in that corner alone. Neotig feeling a little bit lonely at the moment, going around the final corner. So quite a gap between those guys at the back at the moment.
Mulrine just touched the grass in his back, or he's touching the grass again down into turn 1, so he's just not, but I don't think he's got a car set up to what he can do with it.
I tell you what though, Dave the Harp, he's all over the back of Hesselden. I don't know if Hesselden's just had a messy lap or a messy corner somewhere, but Dave the Harp has really closed in. He really needs to make this a little bit more entertaining for us.
4 tenths up in the first sector. He's pushing. There's not much difference on the second sector. There's only about less than a tenth.
Let's see how they get on through the final corner. Dave's got a much tighter line through the final corner. Could give him a better run down the start finish. He's closed up. He's really closed that gap. Is he going to have a look heading into turn 1? No, he looks like he's backing out of it. No, he's not backing out of it. He's getting right up his gearbox. Perhaps a little bit too close because he's lost out a little bit of time now. So he's got it all to do again. But he's letting Hesselden know he's not going to have it all his own way.
And Dave's got the fastest lap time. That was his fastest lap time. He was a second faster than Hesselden on that lap.
So Dave's lap time now then down to a 126.4. So perhaps he just needed to lose a bit of fuel out of the car. But these guys have really pulled away from 3rd place Woolhouse and 4th place Duofin. It looks like this is going to be...
Neotig's in the pits.
I'm wondering whether Neotig's perhaps had a bit of damage, you know, because that could explain one of the reasons why he dropped off quite far. Pit early, get the damage fixed, try and get yourself back into this race somehow. If the cars ahead have got a little bit of damage, perhaps that's why Mulrine's struggling in the corners a little bit. He may be able to gain on someone like Mulrine.
He was in the pits quite a long time. That was quite a long time.
Jones is pulled away from Mulrine. Neotig then now coming out of the pit. So let's hope that was to repair a little bit of damage.
And the Harp's gone for the overtake.
He is up into turn 1. Is it? He's going deep. He just manages to keep it on the road. And I tell you what, Neotig's not that far ahead of him. So Hesselden and Dave the Harp then side by side as they head up towards turn 3. Hesselden, a lovely move to keep his lead. But Dave the Harp, I mentioned a few laps ago, he's letting Hesselden know he's not going to have it all his own way. So the challenge has begun. Dave's shown his intentions. If the opportunity's there, he's going to make the move.
Do you think Dave the Harp will follow Hesselden in the pits and copy his pit strategy? Or do you think he'll try go with that 1 lap extra or less?
It's possible. I mean, I think to a degree though, in these cars with these tyres, the drivers will simply pit when they need to. And it could be 1 lap before, it could be a lap after, it could be 5 laps before, it could be 5 laps after. It's all going to depend on their strategy, their setup, and how they're driving the car and the tyres. Okay, the gap has opened up between the 2 leaders, so Ray, you keep an eye on that for a moment. Woolhouse in 3rd, And Hulkenberg's now into 4th. What's happened to Duofin? He's down in 5th. Has he had a horrible lap somewhere? Well, his last lap was a 1:27.8, which isn't that bad. Oh dear, but he is down to 5th place. He must have had a big off somewhere. He must have done. But that's put Hulkenberg up to 4th then. Jonesy's still in 6th, Mulryan's still in 7th, Neo's in 8th with the leaders right behind him, and they're close again.
Is Neil Tig going to get out the way at the right time, or is he going
to... Well, at the moment...
Spanners in the works?
At the moment, he's far enough ahead to not really need to get out of the way. But if these guys do get much closer, then he is going to have to think about it. But it could be one of those situations where Hesselden may actually want Neo Tig in front of him down the start-finish straight, just to give himself a little bit of slipstream to perhaps defend with, because that's where Dave seems to be quick, around the final corner and down the start-finish. It looks like Dave's just taking tighter lines around some of the corners, which could be benefiting him. And there we go, Neo Tig, he's out of the way, so there will be no slipstream for Hesselden then. But again, into the final corner, Dave's not taking his tighter lines now. Perhaps the tyres are starting to show a little bit of wear, but he's close enough to attack. Is he going to go for it again? He is. He moves across. Up the inside he goes. He's got the speed, but has he got the grip? Side by side round 1 and 2. But Hesselden's got the speed on the exit. That's a lovely defence of the position again.
Dave will be killing himself here.
Well,
he's got to go back to the books and think where else he could do, because I think Hesselden will be smart and go, right, you're going to always try and take me at turn 1. I'm going to sort out my turn 1.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He's tried it twice in 2 different ways, and it's not really worked on both occasions. So he may have to look at trying to overtake somewhere else, but from the way that Hesselden's driving at the moment, I'm not sure that Dave's going to find anywhere else to do it. He's going to have to get really, really close somewhere, or really chuck it up the inside somewhere. But what he doesn't want to do is ruin his own chance of scoring good points here. Oh, Hesselden's ran wide. This could be his chance. No, Hesselden has got fantastic corner exit speed, which is just catching Dave out a little bit. Every attempt he's making so far is being plundered. Oh, Dave, much tighter line around the final corner. Are we on for round 3? He's not as close as he was before, but he is gaining. He's having another look, but he's backed out of it. He's realised into turn 1's not going to work. He's trying a different tactic. He's trying the exit of turn 2. Side by side with Dave ahead, and he's done it. What a move. What a move. I mean, we were discussing it, Ray. He's going to have to think of doing something different. He made Hesselden go defensive into 1, and he capitalised on the exit of 2. He was never going to try the overtake into 1 on that occasion. A beautiful move by Dave the Harp there, but do you think Hesselden is going to be able to answer back?
Of course. I think he will.
Well,
I don't think this battle's finished yet.
Neither do I. But we are going to have a quick look. Hesselden in 3rd place with Neo Tig a lap down behind him. Hulkenberg is in 4th. There's Duofin anywhere near him. Not really, no. Duofin's actually coming under pressure from a man he does not want to come under pressure from, and that's Jonesy. Because Jonesy's probably going to go for it even where there is no room to go for it. So, no, Duofin's off. He's off. He's lost it. I think Duofin's struggling. Now, Jason said before... Go on.
I don't think the one pit stop's going to help.
No, I was going to say that as well. I think Jason's suggestion of Duofin going for a 1-stop may be out of the window, I'm afraid. Duofin, I don't know if it's... I mean, I said it in qualifying, his car seems to be bouncing a little bit. Maybe stiff suspension with heavy fuel just isn't working for him. He's definitely struggling a bit. Okay, so Duofin down to 6th place. He'll be disappointed. Jonesy in 5th place. He'll be pleased. Hulkenberg in 4th place. I think he's going to be disappointed. Missed the apex there by an absolute mile. I've got a feeling we've got to be getting near pit stop window time. Woolhouse pulling away from Neotig, which we could expect. And then back to the battle up at the front. Dave the Harp opening up a tiny, tiny gap to him and Hesselden. This is going to be one to keep an eye on. Well, I'm surprised that Duofin was struggling a little bit there, Ray. I mean, do you reckon he is still going to try going for a one-stop? Or if it was you in this situation and you're struggling a little bit, would you just think, right, let's just get it in the pits, bang a new set of tyres on and see what happens?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, because by the time the guys pit, I think Duofin could get up there, and if they're going to pit at least twice, although they've got fresher tyre, so that's a big gamble to me. I would do it because it's a game and it's fun, but if I wanted the points, I wouldn't do it. I'd go for a two-stop or whatever. Somebody's in the pits, sorry, it's Jonesy and he's sideways in the pits.
It may have been an unintentional pit entry there, but he is definitely on his way into the pits very, very slowly. And he wasn't out of fuel, was he?
Followed him. No, Mulrines followed him.
Okay, so that's what, 11 laps then for these guys on their tyres. And I said that they may punish them, I think I said, they may punish their tyres a little bit more than most, but they are into the pits then. Now, is this going to help Neotig out? Because he has pitted. Since he has pitted, he has had to let a few cars through. But is he going to be able to be anywhere near Mulrine and Jonesy, who still appear to be in the pits at the moment? And Neotig needs to get a move on. He's got quite a long way to go to get sort of up to Mulrine's the pit lane.
Away. So Mulrine's made a place. So
he has. He's got past Jonesy.
Jonesy's had a long pit stop.
I tell you what, Jonesy's only just on the move now, and he's got cars coming past him. It's the leaders, Dave the Harp and Hesselden. So they're going to put Jonesy a lap down, and they're not that far behind Woolhouse. No, Mulrine, sorry. Okay, so that's how quick Dave and Hesselden have been over the first 12 laps of the race. That they've pretty much gained a whole lap, including a pit stop, on these guys. But I reckon we'll be seeing Dave and Hesselden in the pits fairly soon. Hulkenberg's got himself up to 3rd place because Woolhouse is now exiting the pits, and he has got the pit straight ahead of Duofin. Okay, so Ray, it's going to get busy in the pit lane very, very soon, because the leaders, they could be pitting. 1st, 2nd and 3rd could be pitting anytime soon. Duofin could be continuing on and going for the one stop. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
I'm going to message Jason and see what his thoughts are.
Now, Woolhouse has come out in 4th place. Duofin's going slow. I think he's had another off. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Really not going right for Duofin here. But Mulrine, as you mentioned, did gain a place in the pit stops over Jonesy. Gained a huge amount of time. Neotig still in 8th place with Hulkenberg in 3rd. Not far behind Woolhouse. Woolhouse has crashed. He's out of the race. He is. He's out of the race. That's moved Duofin up to 4th. So it may not be going well for Duofin, but he's in 4th place. And Jonesy, I think, has just had a huge moment as well. He has. He's just had a huge sideways moment. Cold tyres. He's beginning to struggle on. Well, I don't think Woolhouse will be happy about that. He was doing well up in 3rd place. Well, yeah, 3rd, a net 3rd place it was. So, Dave the Harp, Hesselden, are you going to pit? Do you need to pit? Are you guys going to make this a one-stop race? To do so, they need to get another 3-4 laps out of their tyres to make it a one-stop race. I tell you what, Dave's
interesting.
Well, Dave's pulled out quite a gap now over Hesselden, so I don't know if Hesselden's tyres are beginning to really suffer, or whether Dave in the race has just got a little extra pace that he wasn't able to really show in qualifying. But I would say if either one of these two is going to be pitting first, it'll be Hesselden. And here he goes, Hesselden then into the pits with 19 laps to go. So he's done, well, 18 laps to go. He's done 14 laps on those tyres. If 14's his maximum, he's got another 2 stops to do.
And just to add on to that, the last lap before the pit, Hesselden pit, Dave was a second faster.
Second faster, yeah. Now Hulkenberg, he's just stolen second place, but he has just had an off on the final corner, so he hasn't pitted yet, but he is up to second place. Hesselden is still in the pits, and Zhuhai Finn is in fourth. Hesselden is on the move. So, Ray, when do you reckon we're going to see Dave pitting?
Zhuhai Finn's in the pits.
So, go on. Zhuhai Finn's in the pits, is he? So if Zhuhai Finn's one stopping, he's got a long way to go on this final stint. So, I'll ask you again. When do you reckon we're going to see Dave pitting?
It's got to be this lap coming. He's got to cover in case there's a undercut.
Possibly, but if his tyres are still good, you know, if I was him, I'd probably be tempted to go a couple more laps. It's going to take a lap to get the tyres up to temperature, possibly 2, but no, he's in. He's going for it. Dave is into the pits. He's lost it. He's lost it on the pit entry. That's going to cost him. I thought I saw Hesselden going a little bit slow there. I could hear Ray. This always sounds like he's laughing. He is.
I'm not laughing.
Chuckling. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I saw Hesselden going slow and wiggling a bit on the pit entry. Obviously, it's a tricky pit entry here. And Dave the Harper's just cost himself a huge chunk of time, as James Hulkenberg is now going to take the lead, but he still has not pitted yet.
Hesselden's coming round the last corner.
So
Dave the Harp's just moving now.
So this is going to be close. It could be very close. It could also be not close in the slightest. Hesselden's into second place. Dave the Harp's behind him in third. So Dave the Harper's got it all to do again. But he's got a lap less to do on his tyres. But look at the gap. Dave. But it could give us something exciting to watch throughout the rest of the race. Now, Mulrine has got himself up to 4th place. He pitted early. Zhuhai Finn has pitted. He's in 5th. He's not far behind. Jonesy is in 6th. And Neo Tig is in 7th with a few retirements. Okay, Hulkenberg, you're leading the race. When are you going to pit? Let's see. He's got a few corners to go before he gets to the pit entry. He's not actually that far ahead of second place at the moment, which is Hesselden. I could see Hulkenberg pitting now.
Do you think he'll go one stop?
I think these guys are on one stops now. Unless they've been using a hard compound tyre. Hulkenberg beautifully, oh not so beautifully, it was beautifully into the pit lane, and then it was all manner of sideways, but he did get around the initial part of the pit entry better than most. I think Hesselden, Dave and Hulkenberg, they're going to go to the end unless they've used a hard compound tyre, but I tell you what, Dave the Harper's lost out even more time on Hesselden. His tyres haven't got up to temperature in the one lap he's needed them to. I mean, look at the gap that Hesselden has got. So Hesselden pitting when he did, taking a couple of laps a lap or two to get up to temperature, has really benefited him.
And
so
he's done the fastest lap.
Of a 26.3, a tenth faster than Dave. But Dave's got 16 laps to catch up what is probably about a 3 to 4 second gap. Hulkenberg is back out the pits in 3rd place with quite a gap between himself and Mulrine. Oh, Zhuhai Finn is off! You saw it as well then in the background. Zhuhai Finn. I think Zhuhai Finn is going to be happy when this race is finished. Perhaps this is a circuit that for some of the guys they're just not overly familiar with and do not particularly like. But next week it is going to be at Silverstone. where the drivers know that track. They should know that track blindfolded. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on there compared to here. But having said that, we saw in the Project Cars Sunday race last season at Silverstone quite a few cars getting on the curbs through Maggotts and Beckett's and ending up on two wheels. If the guys do that in these LMPs, they could easily end up facing the wrong direction.
So is that what we're doing next season? Blindfold racing?
Blindfold racing. It could be. It might not end up being much of a spectacle, but you never know. We could give it a try. Dave the Harp's got fastest lap. Yeah, a 1:26.1. So his tyres are up to temperature. The charge is now on. He was able to catch up and pass before, but he's really got it all to do again. Now, is Hulkenberg going to be able to do anything from third place? I don't think he is. He's too far behind first and second unless they have a crash. But he is comfortable in third place. He's a long, long way ahead of fourth. But fourth, fifth and sixth actually aren't that far apart. So anything could still happen with those guys in the following 15 laps. Now,
that's where you need that LA Golden song. Anything could happen.
I'll try not to sing this season. I'll tell you what, Ray, you just keep an eye out on those guys up at the front while we have a watch of Mulrine making his way around. I think that was turn 7. He's going to head up towards the double left-hander of turns 9 and 10. And it is interesting to see where some of the guys are gaining.
Nearly a second faster.
Oh, a second faster. He's going to catch him in no time whatsoever. And I was about to say, it's easy to see where drivers are faster in some corners than others. And obviously Dave is finding bags of grip out there at the moment. Duo Finn, he's back on track for now, but he's definitely been struggling through this race. That gap has come down a lot, as Ray says. If Dave's
Hesselton's got the fastest sector 1, so Dave must be getting into sector 2 and 3.
Quite possibly. Perhaps Dave's tyres just need a bit more time to really get the temperature up. But if he's catching by a second, he could be about to improve on the fastest lap of the race. 1:26.1 to beat. Or perhaps Hesselton just had a bit of a moment on the previous lap, which assisted in that gap coming down. Either way, Hesselton's not going to give it up. Dave's not going to give it up unless he ends up on his roof. He's not improved on the lap time.
It's just a tenth faster.
Now, how do you reckon Hulkenberg's going to be feeling in third place? No one anywhere near him at all. Probably frustrated still from the first corner collision caused by Jonesy, which pretty much put sort of 4 cars away from the leading 3. And I think Hulkenberg perhaps would have felt that if he'd have been able to be up there with Hesselton and Dave in the early laps, he could have perhaps stuck with them. I mean, would you agree with that, or do you reckon he's just frustrated in that car?
I think he's frustrated. I don't know if he's done. Well, it's all. I reckon it's all down to practice. I know for the first race, the guys were practicing hard, especially Dave the Harp and Hulkenberg together. They were practicing, so. There might be a lack of practice because now that the F1 season started as well, so this could be mellowing out, trying to put practice in for 2 different types of cars. True.
I mean, that is something that it's easy to sort of get yourself into that situation where, let's say you got 4 weeks until the first race of a season, or Hulkenberg going a little bit wide. Yeah, if you've got 4 weeks until the first race of a season, the temptation is to do nothing but practice for 4 weeks for that first race of the season. but you've only got a week to practice for the second race. And if you're racing in another category as well, you've got to fit that in. So basically, you're down to 3.5 days of practice.
Heselton's got traffic ahead of him, and I think it's holding him up.
So they've caught back up to Neotig again. Now, earlier on, and I reckon he'll do the same again. Yep, he is clearly out of the way, holding neither of them up here. But Dave the Harpy
flashing his tic-tacs to say, I'm still here, don't move over.
Well, I tell you what, Dave's closed in that gap over the last 2 laps. So battle is due to recommence between Heselden and Dave the Harp. Now, when it comes to the standings, I mean, Heselden could really do with beating Dave the Harp here. I mean, let's see if we have a look. Or I have a look at the standings. I mean, Hulkenberg being in 3rd place at the moment, if he holds that position, he's going to get 16 points. But if Heselden wins, he's going to effectively be on the same points as Hulkenberg. If Dave the Harp wins, he's going to be leading the standings, and he's all over the back of Heselden now. So far over the back of him, he's alongside. I think Heselden's had a slow corner. Dave's up the inside trying to do what he did earlier, but Heselden's wise to it on this occasion and fends him off. Dave may have to find somewhere else to overtake, because having done what he did earlier, Heselden is now aware of it. So,
asked Jason what your thoughts on the race and what will happen. He said, looked like a one-stopper for Hull, but the fuel strategy is a gamble too.
That is very, very true. And coming from Jason, he knows exactly what he's talking about when he's talking about fuel strategy. Because unfortunately for Jason, he ran out of fuel in last week's PCS race on the last lap. And that must have been painful. Actually, Jason, how painful was that last lap? Because if I remember rightly, you were in 4th place and ended up in 9th. I know how I would have felt. But while Jason's quickly typing out his response on that one, Dave the Harp is he's trying to work out where he can attack.
He's got that corner down to a T. He doesn't get the pit. He's not that tight. But
he's going for it. He's going for it. So up the inside into turn 1. He's tried it a few occasions, but Heselden's had the better exit speed. And he has again. So Dave's gone back to trying what he tried for the first attempts of overtakes, and it's still not available, Dave. You're going to have to do it somewhere else. And he has been having a little bit of a look at a different part of the circuit. I'll have to have a quick look over to what sort of corner it is. I think it's sort of heading down into turn 9. It may be possible, but he's got to have a fantastic exit here to have any kind of a chance to do it. So, can he have a look up the inside at all? He's looking. You can see he's looking. It's not on. He's not close enough. Now they get a short run to another left-hander. No chance of overtaking here. But if he can get a good exit, he could possibly have an attempt into turn 11. But he's not close enough again. Heselden's comfortable there, but taking a slightly defensive line. I think this is where Dave's opportunities at turn 1 are coming from. Heselden, a slightly defensive line in that corner, gives Dave a chance of catching here. Bonus of slipstream, quicker through the final corner, and giving him a chance to attack down. Oh, he's even closer. He's so close, he's given him a nudge. He may actually be ahead this time into turn 1. He is ahead.
He is.
So now it's down to Heselden. What can you do? You've had good speed out of this corner. Can you fight back straight away? Because last time Dave was able to pull away and you couldn't. He's going for it. He's attacking. He doesn't want to let him run away this time. He may not have a choice though. Dave's opened that gap up a little bit already. So 9 laps to go. Heselden, have you got anything at all you can throw at him?
Heselden's got the fastest lap, 1:26.1.
No, that's Dave the Harp.
Oh, sorry, it's Dave the Harp. It's because it's changed.
Yeah, they've changed position, Ray. Yeah, Heselden's fastest laps are 26.3, but this is where Heselden he's been fast enough to keep Dave behind him, but once Dave gets ahead, Hesselden struggled to keep up. Dave's been able to pull away, and really Hesselden needs to find a way to just latch onto the back of Dave's car and not let him pull any kind of a gap, because if he does, he'll be gone. You can see already an exit of the corner and Dave's pulled away. Right, Hulkenberg still in third place, still no one about him. It looks like Hulkenberg's perhaps struggling a little bit on these tyres. I mean, we could be seeing drivers pitting again, and if they are, I reckon it'll be around about now. I don't think Hulkenberg will, because he pitted later than pretty much everybody else. Duofin in 4th place, with Mulrine in 5th place. Jonesy in 6th place, sliding all over the place as he heads towards the finish line. And Neotig in 7th. It's been a very disappointing race for Neotig, but damage in the very early stages at the turn 1 collision, that hurt everything he had planned for this race. Now, for those drivers that have not been able to attend either the first round or the second round, they could quite quickly find themselves quite a lot of points behind those drivers that are taking part in these events. If they want a chance to fight for the titles, they're really going to need to get their cars on the racetrack and fight it out. Now, Hessel,
it will be pretty hard coming into the season. You've not been there for the first couple of races and trying to get your setup all setted, because you'll have your basic setup that you'd like, and then you just adjust it to the track.
Yeah, I mean, that is something I know people do. They'll have a base setup which is really good at one track, and then they'll just try and adjust it for another, which could work for a few of the circuits, but you will come to certain circuits where it just won't work. Now, but given the nature of the few tracks that are coming up, and we've got Silverstone. Let's just check. Silverstone is the next one. Let's have a quick look at where is after that. So we've got Silverstone, Nürburgring GP circuit, then Bathurst, Monza, Spa, Monaco, Willow Springs and Le Mans. So you've got Silverstone, Nürburgring, Monza, Spa, where you probably will be able to run a very, very similar setup to each track. But the likes of Monaco, Bathurst, Willow Springs perhaps even, you're really going to need to make sure that you've got that setup right. And for Le Mans, you're going to need to make sure you've got your gear ratios right, because if you're topping out at 180 mile an hour, you're going to be a little bit disappointed when someone drives past you at 220.
Yeah. I think we've done a lot at Le Mans 24-hour racing where people went past. Or was that on that other game we used to play? No,
we've done plenty of races around the Le Mans circuit here, and if you don't get your gear ratio right for the straights, you are just going to hemorrhage lap time, and there will be absolutely nothing you can do about it. So it doesn't matter how quick you are in the through the Porsche curves or the final sector. If you're losing 20-30 mile an hour down the straights, you're just going to lose. It's as simple as that. Someone that gets their gear ratios right there is going to benefit hugely. Okay, we just need 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th to get themselves close together, have a little bit of a fight, because I think Hesselden and Dave the Harp, yep, they've got a bit of a gap between them now. The fight could be over for Hesselden for taking victory here. We'll have to keep on plodding on. Hope that Dave makes a bit of a mistake, but then for Hesselden, you could look at it as that Hulkenberg won last week and he's beating Hulkenberg this week. Okay, Dave came second last week, but at the moment it's going to be Hesselden's turn to finish there. But we have got 6 laps to go, and anything could happen. And this is one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to Silverstone next week, because if it does rain at any point during the race, that is going to throw an absolute spanner in the works, because getting a tyre change decision on the fly will be crucial to get right.
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes to change one of these tyres. I don't know if it's as quick as F1 or is it a set time you've got in the pits. Or
well, I wouldn't necessarily say I meant how long it takes them to change the tyres, but I mean at what point you go from slick tyres to wet tyres. Making that decision is going to be absolutely crucial, because I think even if you have a 10-second longer pit stop, if you're on the wrong tyres, those 10 seconds won't matter. It'll be the time you lose or gain out there on the racetrack. I tell you what, we've got Duo Finn in 4th place with a couple of cars catching him up, but it's the leaders. He's not far off getting lapped. He'll be disappointed about that. Just about as disappointed as he'll be about his car just continuously sliding off the racetrack.
But if he doesn't get out the way at the right point of time, this could hold Dave the Harp up and bring Heselton back into it.
It could. It definitely could. I don't think Duo Finn will make it difficult for Dave though, but you never know. He may
make it difficult.
I reckon he should make it difficult. Give Dave something to think about, so that Heselton can catch him up and give us a battle.
He's holding him into turn 1. He's getting out the way now, but Dave isn't going for the overtake.
I don't think Dave was quite quick enough at that point. I mean, this is a situation where, okay, yeah, Duo's getting blue flags. He is sort of showing, like, okay, go past, but on the previous corner, Dave wasn't able to be fast enough to do so, but he is now ahead. And if that did hold Dave up a little bit, it's not really benefited Heselton much, because he's too far back to gain in any way. And there you can hear Ray's dog barking, so I would guess the Panda has been used to its full extent.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to have to wash that Panda. Anyway, back to the limited action on the racetrack at the moment, because the closest battle, I think, is Dave and Heselton. Hulkenberg's quite far behind them in 3rd place. Well, I say quite far, he's a long way back. Heselton and Dave Harper have just been completely different class in this race.
Yeah, I'm just watching the track map to see if anybody decides to have a wee clip in the pits and try and get a fastest lap time in, or see what they could have done or whatever. But it doesn't look likely. I think this is, unless something goes wrong,
well,
we're stuck with this.
The situation is, though, you see, if Duo Finn, Mulrine or Jonesy pit, they lose a position. Because of, I mean, okay, the cars around them are not close, but if Duo Finn, Jonesy or Mulrine pit, they are going to lose a position. So with 3 laps to go, really they've got no decision other than keep going. Just keep going to the end of the race, because in the positions they are, they're not going to lose a position. If they pit to go for a fastest lap, they are going to lose a position. They haven't got the time to get it back. They really haven't. So 2 and a bit laps to go. So go on.
We've got information from Yasin. I started with full tank and I thought would be enough to finish, but realised with just a few laps left I had to refill. So on the fly I filled up 1 turn short, a little frustrating. So did they fill up and it was just short?
So with an early-ish pit stop, he's topped his tank up and it wasn't enough, I would guess, or something like that. But either way, he did run out of fuel on the last lap of the last lap, lost a few places, and that would have hurt. That would have really hurt. And thinking about it, actually, what's hurting Heselton now, is that Hesselden pitted before Dave the Hart. So Hesselden now, his tyres are beginning to struggle. So much so that it's taken him a long time to get close enough to Duofin for Duofin to think about moving out of the way to let him by.
He's nearly a second down on Dave the Hart's lap time. So.
Yeah, Hesselden's tyres, they're struggling. The only thing is, Hulkenberg's not close enough or got enough laps to do anything about it. So this is where, for Hulkenberg, it will be a shame that he lost as much time as he did in the opening lap, that he couldn't capitalise. But Dave the Hart, he's about to cross the line to start the last lap of the race, and he, once again, has been...
flashing his tic-tacs.
Yeah, but, I mean, once again, he's been the driver on the best form. I mean, the way that Hesselden was defending in those situations of being under attack was brilliant. He really made it difficult for Dave the Hart to get past. He didn't do anything wrong in a sense of making it difficult. He just defended very well. Made Dave have to think about where he was going to position his car to try and overtake. And Hesselden, he's really struggling with his tyres. He's dropped off the back of Duofin. He's got a car catching him up, but it's not for position. So yeah, I mean, Dave Hart, he'll be chuffed to bits about taking another victory. And the drivers are really going to have to start thinking about what they're going to do to beat this guy, because in Catalonia last week, he had an absolute shocker of a start. But by the end of the race, he'd gone from pole position to last in the first 3 seconds, to the end of the race in second place, not far off the leader. So Dave has got some targets appearing on the back of his car, I should say. And personally, I think this is where we could do with Kev 187 jumping in his LMP2 car and taking the fight to Dave the Hart, because he's about to take victory here at the Zhuhai International Circuit. Hesselden, he was put up a valiant effort. He's going to cross the line in second place. Should be pleased with that result. Has Hulkenberg dropped down a few places, or is it just the track?
No, it's just back markers.
Okay, it is frustrating that Project Cars does that, because Hulkenberg should be in third place, and obviously back markers have crossed the line, so it positions them first, which is really daft. And Hulkenberg then round the final corner for the final time. I don't know how he's going to feel about how this race went, but he is weaving across the line, so he knows it's the last lap. So it'll be third place for him. Duofin, with the way that his race was going... Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. On you go. Talking about the race, I was going to butt in with something else.
Oh, okay. Well, Duofin may not have been happy about how his race went, but he is going to take fourth place, and I reckon there'll be some suspension changes made to that car. We know that he is a better driver than what appears to have been on show today, but sometimes if your setup is wrong, there's not a lot you can do about it. Just a quick look of the final result there. So Duofin will be 4th, Mulrine 5th, Jonesy 6th, Neotig 7th. Few retirements, few did not races with the last minute notifications. So Duofin then 4th place. Mulrine will cross the line in 5th place. A difficult race for him with the collision early on, caused by what looked like this guy, Jonesy, but they all managed to get going again. Jonesy will cross the line in 6th place. And Neotig, who was the most affected from that collision on the first lap of the race, with enough damage to make him have to pit in the first couple of laps, and that just put him on the back foot from the very start. When he came out of the pits, had the leaders right behind him, and then was in a blue flag situation. There's nothing much else he could do other than let those guys go by and watch them drive off into the distance. So, last corner for the last time for him, and across the line he'll come for 7th place. And that's it, race done. So Ray, How do we recap that race?
A big nice turn one. I'll call it nice, I won't say any other. And then quite a couple of good wee battles in there. And then it settled down.
Well, I think the way I would recap it is a big portion of the race was potentially ruined by the collision at turn 1. Well, not potentially, it was ruined by the collision at turn 1, which allowed the front 3 or 4 to just run away. One of them ends up with an on-track retirement, and left us with Dave and Hesselden to fight it out, which for me is quite a bit of a disappointment. I mean, I was surprised that Joefin struggled, but sometimes that's the way it goes. Hulkenberg may be disappointed he wasn't able to keep up with the pace of Dave and Hesselden. But again, perhaps he was affected from that collision early on. I do think that collision played a big part for the rest of the race. But I think it's fair to say for a driver of the day here, Dave Harp, absolutely phenomenal. Put on a great showing up at the front, catching up with Hesselden a couple of times. Even if he did nearly spin it on his way into the pits.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, well, it's going to be near enough time to bring this to an end. I mean, Dave's car's so hyperactive it's still trying to get going while it's parked up in the pit lane. But that will pretty much put Dave the Harp at the top of the PCF standings. Hopefully next week at Silverstone we will have a higher attendance rate. If not, then we'll just invite in all those people that have been asking to take part, and we'll just let them take the place of those people that haven't been turning up. Okay, so we'll bring this to an end, and next up on the Front Row Racing YouTube channel will be on Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. for the Project Cars Sundays race. And if last week's race is anything to go by, it will be an absolute cracker. For 40 laps of the Monza short circuit, we are guaranteed for carnage, I think is the best way to put that one, especially with the way that chicane is just after the exit of the Parabolica. Okay, I've been Front Row Racing DP, he's been Front Row Racing RI.
Good night.
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.